when you're really passionate about something, it kind of you just drive yourself.
Hey you guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 3 of Content and Coffee. We're on IG Live today.
Hey everybody, I am Brianna Weaver. I do a multitude of things in the entertainment industry. A lot of times I have a hard time finding where to start, but I have a full-time job with Pandora Radio, so I'm an account executive there. What that entails, if you guys have ever seen or listened to Pandora and have seen advertisements on our platform, I'm responsible for building those marketing advertising campaigns on our platform. Additionally, I'm also a freelance entertainment correspondent. So I do a lot of interviews similar to Dallas. Interview, a lot of entertainers, athletes, actors, actresses, the whole nine. So that's what I do in a lot of my spare time. And then also, I'm heavily involved in sports too, so you can catch me at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for all of the Atlanta Falcons and United games.
So today, we are not at a coffee shop. We are at Brianna's apartment. We have coffee and water.
They are the cutest. These are the cutest little cups. She got them from Ross.
$1, baby. You were in sports heavily at first. So tell us about how you got started in that. Does that come from your passion with sports? Kind of expand on that.
Yeah, so my journey goes back to when I was in college. So when I was in college, I majored in business. So I was in the School of Business and Industry at FAMU. Shout out to all my rattlers out there. And all of my internships were in the entertainment industry. So my first one was with CNN, and then secondly with BET. But
let's back up. How did that come about?
So at FAM, we actually have a requirement to have 2 internships. And I remember it was my junior year, and it was the spring semester, and it was coming to an end, and I had literally applied for maybe 200 internships.
Are you serious?
And I wasn't really hearing back from a lot of these people. I wasn't hearing anything at all, or maybe I got to the first round of the interview process and then nothing. And then I remember it was finals week, and I had an interview with CNN, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. This is my last hope. And on top of that, I really want this internship. So I remember hitting up my friend who was in AK Psych. He helped me prep for this interview, y'all. I pulled an all-nighter getting ready for this interview.
That's what it's all about, having someone to practice with and then just kind of sharing that dialogue. Yeah. That's really how you get it.
And I got the call 2 days before the semester was over that I got the internship. And I was headed to Detroit in my car 2 weeks later. It was so crazy, but that was one of the best experiences of my life. And then with BET, it was one of the first days of the semester, and we were going around the class. Everybody was introducing themselves, and we had to say who we were, where we're from, basically just a basic introduction, and then what you wanted to do after you graduated. And there was one girl in my class, and she said that she had already gotten a full-time job with BET. And I was like, oh, snap. I need to talk to her. Yeah. So I talked to her. Her name's Crystal. Shout out to Crystal, too. So Crystal, talked to her. I was telling her my background. I just got off this internship with CNN, and I would love to intern with BET. So she put me in contact with Stephen Hill, who was the president of programming at BET at the time. And he kind of just pushed my application through. And I had an interview with BET, and I just really prepped hard for that interview, and I got that one. So I was in New York the next summer interning with BET in Times Square. And it really just came from utilizing the people around me.
I'm telling you, that's such a major key.
Right.
People don't realize it, and especially as being somewhat of an introvert, I guess, and just kind of feeling I don't want to ask other people for help. People are busy. People don't really care.
Right.
And it's just you really have to knock down that barrier of fear and just start reaching out to people, because what's the worst they can say? Literally the worst they can say is no. And you just keep it moving and go to the next person.
No, I totally agree with that. A lot of times I've become more comfortable with asking people for help, but I used to be really bad at asking people for help. But then I was like, well, these people know things that I don't know. They have strengths that I don't have. And they know people that I don't have access to. Right. So I just started putting my pride aside and just asking people for help. And a lot of people see that as a humble move too. Yeah. Because when people think that, you have it together, it can kind of be intimidating. Like, people think that, oh, maybe he or she is stuck up. Maybe they're, a little snobbish, or they think that they're better than other people. So when you reach out to people for help, it shows a sign of humility. So after my internships, I remember I had a semester left after my BET internship. I graduated with no job. Oh my gosh, girl. Moved back home with my parents. And at that point, I was kind of just like stuck. Like, what do I do next? Did I really just waste 4 years of my life in school? I had these 2 bomb internships, and now I have nothing. I was questioning my worth. Like, did I not work hard enough? Like, how did someone else end up getting a job straight out of college and I didn't? Like, are they better than me? Like, what? Like, I was just stuck. Like, a lot of questioning myself, a lot of self-doubt was going on at that time. And I was home applying for jobs and still hearing no. I was unemployed after college for about 6 months.
Yeah, within those 6 months, what are a few things that you learned through those 6 months about yourself?
I've learned patience, because, we want it so fast these days a lot of times, especially with social media. It's a blessing because it does give us our own platforms. You're pretty much your own media. Everybody's their own media company, and you can put whatever content you want on there and have people look at you whatever way you want them to look at you. But then it's also a curse, because a lot of times we compare ourselves to other people. But we don't know the background story in a lot of those situations. So I learned to have patience. I learned to not compare myself to other people, because like I was saying, a lot of my colleagues and a lot of my classmates had graduated and they had moved to, the Midwest or wherever to go start their career, and I'm at home on my parents' couch like, dang. Yeah. Like, what is life right now? I believe in myself, realize that it'll all work itself out. Everybody has their own timing, their own journey, and just because someone's doing something now doesn't mean that you won't have the opportunity to do it later. Your story is just a little bit different. I got an internship in LA with BET again, but I got it through a program. So it was the HBCU in LA program, and if you're an HBCU student and you're interested in the entertainment industry, definitely recommend that. They set us up with housing and they set us up with internships out there. So
what's the website? Or do you remember? No. It's just HBCU program, post-grad.
Yeah, if you Google HBCU in LA, you'll be able to find it. I was out there. I had just started my YouTube channel because I was interested in journalism, but I didn't really have the experience. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna start something on my own. So that's why I started my YouTube channel, and I covered my first red carpet while I was in LA, and that was the All Eyes on Me red carpet. So from there, kind of just kept going, interviewing more people, started interviewing bigger people, and yeah, it was just a matter of, it was like a domino effect. Like, once I started, which was the hardest part, like finding that confidence and, when you stop second guessing yourself and you get out of your own way, that's when I really started to flourish.
Yeah. B. Randall. Okay, official. B. Randall Official says, how did you manage doing solo interviews on your own? That's a good question.
When you're really passionate about something, it kind of you just drive yourself. And I was so fascinated by getting on these red carpets and interviewing these people and really, kind of being self-made. It was really inspiring to me. Like, first I started interviewing like small people who had really small roles on these movies, and then once I started interviewing bigger people, I was like, wow, I'm really doing this, and it's off of the strength of myself. Like, I really just started building relationships. Once I got in these rooms and once I got the access, that was all I really needed. Like, I can do the work from there. Like, talking to people is something that I really enjoy doing. So making those connections was very helpful when trying to get to the next level and trying to, network with these different outlets, or network with the different publicists, or network with the journalists. I'm really big on networking. Like, I love networking with journalists because they give me access to opportunities I wouldn't have found out about otherwise. Like, if I hear about something, I'm probably sending it to one of my friends, like, hey, are you covering this? If not, like, reach out so that you can get on the carpet too, or vice versa, or we'll help each other out. Dallas has actually helped me record one time. Was that the Snowfall premiere? And she helped me record for Luda Day, now that I think about it. Yes. So, yeah, we really just help each other out.
I did talk about this with Janae a little bit, but having a 9 to 5 or just having that source of income, because journalism is such an interesting field. It's like, if you're not on the news stations,
right,
even the ones on the news stations, they're not making a whole lot of money. Let's just talk about it. I mean, you got lucky to get a job at Pandora, and tell us about like your role there, because you're an account executive there. How do you still intertwine like the whole media entertainment side with that?
So I was even doing this when I was with the Falcons, like going to work for a full day and then sometimes having to go straight to these red carpets, having to do my makeup in the car. But it's really all about time management. Time management has been big for me. I've kind of learned through just trial and error. So I go to work every day, and then I find gaps in my day. That's been really helpful for me. Like, a lot of times I'll edit a video during a lunch break or get stuff done before work, because I know that during work I have to commit 100% of my energy and attention to my job. So like early in the morning, if I'm reaching out to publicists for an event that's coming up, maybe I'll draft up my emails. I try to separate the two as much as I can. Like, when I'm at work, I'm at work.
Yeah.
But at 5 o'clock,
Gotta do your job.
Yeah, at 5 o'clock, I'm out. Like, I really don't give them much more than what I need to give them, because my time is my time ultimately. And the way I look at it, I can be here today and gone tomorrow when it comes to corporate America. The goal is to use corporate America to my advantage, you know? Like, learn what I need to learn things that I can apply towards my entrepreneurial endeavors, and then most importantly, use the money that I'm making in corporate America and apply that towards my passions, you know? Because journalism is not cheap, especially if you're doing something on your own, like cameras. I remember when I started, I didn't have a camera, but I had to buy a camera, and that costs money. Dallas just told me that I need to buy a ring light, so that's gonna cost me more money. Microphones, like all the stuff, editing software. Don't even get started on outfits and hair and all the other stuff that people don't talk about.
Gotta have a different one every time, or it's just not right.
So right, okay, you can't post the outfit in the same, picture in the same outfit 2 times. Like,
exactly.
It's not easy, but it can be done. Like, it's definitely doable, because there are 24 hours in the day, so you're only spending a third of your day at work. And if you're, you don't necessarily have to get 8 hours of sleep.
You don't have to, but sometimes you need it. She said, what would you say has been the biggest lesson you've learned so far maneuvering through the industry? That's a good one.
Networking with people who are on my level, because a lot of times, like, I have people that I idolize, and sometimes I reach out to them, and sometimes they are helpful with information or with the connection or whatever the case. But lately, at least, I've been really big on connecting with people who are on my level. Like, I've learned that sometimes you can get farther just from utilizing other people who are in the same place that you are, because you guys have that same drive, you guys have that same ambition, same interests, and then you never know where people will end up 5 or 10 years from now. So one thing I've learned is to not overlook the people who are next to you. Like, I have a lot of friends who are like videographers, even some young publicists or people who do graphics, and we're always like, how can we connect? How can we collaborate? Another thing that's been really helpful for me that a lot of people don't really talk about is code switching. So learning how to turn it on, turn it off, learning how to be a certain version of myself sometimes, and then being a different version of myself other times. Like, when I'm at work, when I'm super corporate, I know that there's a certain way that I have to carry myself. There's a certain way that I have to speak, a certain way that I have to dress. Like, I have to be mindful of the things that I'm wearing, because it may look different on me than it looks on Abigail. So if you get what I'm saying. So like, I just have to be super mindful. And then, when I'm on the red carpet, or if I'm at an event in the entertainment industry, like, I can loosen up a little bit. Yeah, so I've just learned how to play the game.
All right, that concludes episode 3 of Content and Coffee. Thank you so much, Brianna, for joining. Go ahead and give your @name and all that good stuff.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. This was awesome. I hope you guys got some value out of this. Tried my best to share my experiences and my insights. So hopefully you guys got something from this. You can follow me on Instagram at Brianna J. Weaver. That's on Instagram, BriannaJWeaver.com. Also follow my scholarship page, Evolution to Excellence, especially if you're an HBCU student looking for a little bit extra cash money. And then lastly, follow BWBM Network. I'm on season 2 of We Need to Talk, which just dropped. Definitely doing some great things, having some great conversations there. So follow me, connect with me, and hopefully we can connect and work together soon.
Yes, and don't forget the J in Brianna. J. Weaver.
Yes, don't forget the J. Don't forget the J.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week.
Later.
Bye.